Don't be shy, 'cause life won't bring you down too far.
What's good, BEVIS for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. I'm in the MTK bubble. Well, actually, we're not in the bubble yet. We're pre-bubble. I'm with Gary Cully here in somewhere. I don't know. The taxi driver dropped me off. He went, "You're like Barnsley, Rotherham area. Rotherham area. We're in Rotherham."
I was coming to Wakefield, but yeah, Rotherham for the next couple of days.
Not the most glamorous, but there you go. You and Kieran Gethin, when you guys were meant to fight, I mean, Irish champion, Welsh champion, it had the makings of something that could be a show stealer.
Yeah.
You haven't got that now, but you've still got a Welshman, you've still got a test in front of you. Just assess to me how you think Craig is a test for yourself.
I think it's a bigger test than the Gethin fight would have been. I know Gethin is Welsh champion, and I seen the fight against Woodruff, which was a very close fight. I personally thought Gethin just nicked it, but yeah, like styles make fights, and I think Kieran's style was kind of made for me, and I think it would have been a very convincing win. And now I'm in with Craig it's a completely different fight. He's quite similar style to myself. He's tall, he's rangy, so it's a different fight. I think he's a little bit better technically wise and stuff than Kieran as well. So yeah, it's a test, and one I'm looking forward to.
After the whole lockdown situation, and then when you heard that Kieran, I think it was an elbow injury, did you just think, oh, please, nothing's going my way this year?
Yeah, and I've had out of the 11 fights, I've had 10 change of opponents so far, I think. So when I got the phone call, Gethin Pullout, I was like, oh, here we go. Yeah, used to it, but in a way it's good, but then it's like, are they going to get me a replacement? And thankfully enough, it was less than 24 hours, and Craig had just finished the camp and was asking for a fight if either of us pulled out. So it came up and he took it straight away. So I was thankful for that as well. Thank God that it could have been a lot worse, and it could have been off the show completely.
I suppose I don't want to dwell on it too much, but would you say perhaps the one negative, like you say, you feel like it would have been an easier fight for yourself, but people know more of Kieran Gethin. He's made appearances on Sky Sports, and he's perhaps more well known, even outside of the more hardcore boxing community. So it would have been a better name for your record, possibly as well. Yeah,
of course. He's fought on the Golden Contract. Obviously, like you said, he's Welsh champion. So he's like you said, not only hardcore boxing fans know him. He will be also known through sports community as well, who watch Sky Sports and stuff like that. So it would have been a bigger fight for exposure wise, but look, a fight is a fight. It is what it is, and I'm in with Craig now, so I just have to deal with that task.
I want to talk about yourself in preparation, because I saw something that you said when you said lockdown has made you sort of want to become more of a beast of a fighter. You got boxing skills. You've shown you got boxing skill, and you want to keep showing that. But you also want to push people back. You want to use your sides to your advantage, and you want to become that complete package. There's a lot of it about putting a statement on and pushing Craig back and showing, look, I've got skills, and now I've got to prove I am the complete package.
Yeah, I think so. I think at the start of my career, and maybe rightly so, a lot of people were saying I was very skillful, and did I have the power? Did I have the strength? Obviously, I had the size. So yeah, lockdown, I kind of just focused on maturing into the weight and becoming more of an experienced professional fighter, like I said in that interview you're talking about. And yeah, I think I've done that, and I'm looking forward to putting that on show. I think kind of maybe the Fitzpatrick fight before that, we kind of were working on a bit of strength as well, and now I feel like I'm much stronger, I'm much bigger, and I'm much more experienced now. So yeah, I'm looking forward to showing that as well, that I've got more than boxing skills.
It makes me laugh in a way, because you said obviously 10 of your opponents have pulled out before. 6'2", rangy southpaw. It's not an ideal opponent for people. Now, if you're going to show that you've got this beast strength about you, and you're going to sort of grow into the weight, like you said, I mean, it's quite an avoidable situation for future opponents. Can you and that sort of might bring into the fact that why you've gone, I need opportunities at 135 and 140 just to sort of broaden myself, because it's not the most appealing fight in the world, is it, when you take all that into account.
Yeah, no, definitely not. And that's why this fight is at 140, because the Gethin fight had to be made at 140 as he fights at welterweight and light welter. So when that was originally made, I couldn't. MTK were kind of having trouble, especially with what was going on, the coronavirus and stuff. They were kind of having trouble matching me at 135. There was nobody really there who wanted it, so they asked me to step up to 140 for the Gethin fight, and I jumped at that straight away. But yeah, like you said, 6'2" southpaw. It's not even for somebody up at 140, even 147. It's not ideal. So yeah. No, I'm just looking forward to getting in on Wednesday night and putting in some good work.
I also get the impression that you're not asked about staying at a certain level, that you just look and think, you know what, if I'm going to go, I'm going to go, and I'm going to aim high and potentially not skip some of the building process, but go, look, I feel like I'm good enough, so if I show I'm good enough, I'm going to just try and get to that world tier, and perhaps skip some of the fights that many people would take in your position, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like maybe so to an extent, but you can kind of lose the run of yourselves a little bit sometimes as well. Like I kind of, after the Fitzpatrick fight, which I said I was above Irish level, and then I kind of proved it then in the Fitzpatrick fight. But after that, then I said I want to jump to European level, and I just want to jump then. I'll win that and jump to world level, and very well that you can do that. But at the same time, you need these experience building fights. I've fought 6 rounds twice. This is an 8 rounder on Wednesday night. I haven't went the 8 round distance yet, so you kind of need them experience building fights as well, I think, to just get the rounds behind you and to learn in there and learn on the job. And I think that's what I need, a couple of them fights as well before I start jumping up to world level.
I don't want to talk about world level though, because no matter where you are, it's always a topic of conversation. They're actually quite 2 different divisions. Like 140, you got Taylor is the dominant man at 140, and you would argue Lomachenko is a dominant man at 135. But 135 is like littered with names, littered with guys who want to call each other out and build all this smoke and hype. And 140 is not as high profile, but there's still some dangerous fighters in there. So 2 very different divisions at world level.
Yeah, definitely. 140 is not maybe as popular right now, but it still has some elite fighters in there. Ramirez is class. Taylor obviously holds the belt. So then down at 135 you have Lomachenko, you have Haney, you have Campbell is there, Ryan Garcia is after coming up. Like it's flooded, and I think 135 is definitely the best weight in the world at the minute, especially for high profile fights and big fights. So it's exciting to be around that and to be in that weight class, and I'm excited to get up them ranks and start looking at names like that.
You mentioned Campbell, so I'm going to ask you, sort of a pick and fight. People are saying 50-50. I still feel like, it's not my place to put my nose in, but I still feel like we're yet to see Garcia tested to that extent. But Campbell Garcia, it's an absolute belter. Pick him.
Yeah. I'm a massive fan of Luke Campbell. I think he's class. I learn a lot from him, so I'll have to go with Campbell on that. And like you said, I don't think Garcia has been tested at that level, so it's a massive jump in levels for him. Can he do it? Maybe so. Maybe if he comes out early and knocks out Campbell early, then he is legit and he is the real deal. But he's yet to prove that. So for me, he has to be the underdog going into that. I think Campbell's well schooled, and I'm just really surprised that he hasn't actually picked up a world title yet. But I don't think it's far away from him.
Yeah, I mean, his world title fights so far have been arguably two of the toughest in the division at the time. So tough, yeah. Final prediction though, yourself. Where do we put our money on Wednesday night?
Gary Cully win. I think late rounds. I think I'll get Craig out there around 6 to 8 maybe. I'll start piling on the pressure, and I don't think he'll stick with me around 6 to 8.
6 to 8, put your house on it, Gary. Thanks for giving me some of your time, and I'm sure we will catch up on Wednesday.
Yeah, cheers, man, and I will see you Wednesday night.